So back from what we were saying. Hey, Gramps, didn't you know?
Yes, back to what we were saying when I ended off with a cliffhanger and everyone screamed at me.
Judge, are you Judge? You're gonna tell us
To be sure, yeah, okay.
what he's talking about.
That's the reason why I don't drink red tea.
Wait a minute. Wait, I thought it was still stuck on that one screen. I didn't even see that it...
Also, what does red tea have to do with this?
I don't know.
I wasn't sure about it until now. I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godo is the murderer. There's no going back. Finally figured out the truth.
Shut up, crowd.
Like, Jesus Christ, holy crap.
Mr. Godo, the defense at this time is firmly accusing you. You are the murderer of Mrs. Lee Steeman, also known as Miss Misty Faye.
It's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Disquieting.
Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written.
Too soon, dude.
That doesn't matter.
I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red.
This is rich. Do go on, Trite.
The answer is right there at the crime scene.
I like how he knows.
In the snow.
The snow? How so? Oh, come on, man.
For example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If you wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not just take out the area? That area.
Yes, why didn't he take that area? Ah, could it be?
Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of that snow. He couldn't be sure where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Objection. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark?
Not a chance. Torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine.
It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Godo?
Hold it. Oh no, it's mine.
God damn it. Wait just a minute.
Maya!
Scooter?
Well, what is it, witness?
Mr. Godo isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the Inner Temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Objection. Maya. You can't testify to something like that.
Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I...
After the murder happened, you didn't even exist.
She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Oh, come on.
She called a spirit medium, and once that happens, her body is not there.
Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago.
Yes, this is true.
After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
No.
Maya, you plan to cover for Godo no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony.
Oh, come on.
If it means we're going to get to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her.
Nicely done, Trite.
Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearlie was there at the inner temple, too.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was. She went to go
No,
check
she.
on her.
Oh.
I mean, she what?
Pearlie was also stuck on the inner temple that side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. That's when Mr. Godo arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearlie first and cheered her. No, he didn't.
We found her first.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Who is this Pearlie?
That's my little cousin, Pearlfae.
That was the fast statement I've ever heard.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible to the testimony.
What? Come on! Pearlie would never tell a lie. Oh my gosh, she's way more honest person than I'll ever. Okay, well that I can actually agree with.
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath.
Can we just hold her in contempt of court?
Yeah, I mean, like this
No.
is kind of punishable by law. You can't lie to the court.
It is. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness.
Of course,
Bullshit.
Of course,
you
you
just
say
wanna save
that.
yourself.
But Mr. Godo?
Let's just move on to the cross-examination, if the defense has no objections.
This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright, do you accept?
Let's get this cross-examination started.
All right. Well, I think we know what we should
Just take
possibly
it
first.
today and just, you know.
Yeah.
I would press that first.
That-
Oh,
Yeah,
press
press
You
that,
press this.
uh,
Press this. You mean?
Press that first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Press it.
Yeah. He cheered her up.
That's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Funny, why didn't she mention this to any of us? I wonder. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godo.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee...
He sort of is mostly a coffee addict, if you haven't noticed.
Still is.
I said mostly.
Cut it out. You're making me blush.
I don't see red. Other than the mask, I don't
This
see
guy's
red.
really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one.
The truth is there aren't that many places to go temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with a fine-tooth comb. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style.
I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way. Judge style. Guilty, not guilty.
So, being easily swayed?
Shut up.
Maybe I should ask more questions, Phoenix style.
Oh my god, everyone's not saying something.
What about the Godot investigation, Godot style, huh?
You said that you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything?
Looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trey. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
Pull a stunt like that again and you'll drink 17 cups of ketchup through a straw. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall.
Don't you dare be talking about fucking... Okay.
Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
You just contradicted yourself there. Western taste. Good. Next!
So, from there you headed
Sorry.
for the prep room?
Wait, you're right.
Wait a second. What did Godo just say right now? The guy just found his real weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godo when the murder was taking place? He must have already been in the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Police Junum.
He was also stuck Wait, go back one.
Yeah.
That's not true.
I don't think we have evidence for that, so we gotta press it.
Well, I wouldn't exactly do that. So here's the thing.
Remember, Nick,
Wait,
remember
wait,
that
wait,
hint
wait, wait,
we
wait,
got-
wait, wait. The scroll wasn't covered in
Nick,
gravy back then. How did he know Misty
Yeah,
was...
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you remember
Yeah, present the scroll.
Sorry.
He probably
Should
should have
go down.
noticed the scroll covered in gravy first.
The first time he crossed Dusty Bridge and went into the inner temple was long before the murder took place.
Why do you say that?
Because he just made one fatal slit up.
Slip up.
Slit up.
Yeah. Slip up. The hanging scroll in the training hall.
Hanging scroll?
No, that's not. You joke, you say that, but the second time I did it, the first
But-
time I actually got it right.
Mr. Goto is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother.
I know you know who it is, but there's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had already been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this.
Was that wonderfully delicious?
You still
You need better nose then if you think that smells good.
And why is it in the courtroom?
That's a good question.
Morning after the crime, someone already covered it with gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Ask Charlie.
Because gravy was more than a commitment to the
Condiment.
criminal.
Condiment.
Condiment to the criminal. Oh, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that it was me, Misty Faye.
God damn it, Maya! Wait a minute, Nick!
Yes.
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look at the top. There's a crest there.
That. It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly! So if you know the meaning of the mark...
Then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there.
But how does he know that?
True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb surrounded by the hue of aroma of Western taste.
Oh.
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he could have known that she was wearing a Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place.
And there's another one.
Can I ask you just one little thing, Trite?
What is it?
This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed.
Well, let's think about this. Let's think about this real quick. You say you died, then you went to hell, came back from hell. Yeah, the dead would pretty much have a good idea what happens in the future.
To do battle with Phoenix Wright.
He was in the hospital, remember?
That's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Ugh. Of course, Mr. Godot
Hold
knew
on,
about the plan.
We'll keep going, but I'm actually brainstorming right now. Huh?
Well, what did you say? Is it really possible that another person
Yes.
knew that plan?
Yeah, it's written right there.
Orders from Morgan Fay opened once before.
He opened it.
Oh yeah, he did. Well, I don't know that. I'll just agree.
This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay offered the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were heading somewhere in the Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they have already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place take place at the Inner Temple.
And you still insist that this crafty killer is me?
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right. Mr. Go couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
No. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and when was that?
During a visit. Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center!
Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with an easy access in and out of there. As for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot.
Now there's your music.
Order! 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 Mr. Godot, you're under fire again!
This murder could have not been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
No. Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee.
Oh my god. No.
Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean?
It means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail where he learned a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the Inner Temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did it all just to protect this witness?
That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. That is not true. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her.
Hey, dude! It's because she's the sister of Mia.
I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue a damsel in distress.
Bullshit.
Really?
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
Godot's behavior is all unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Dumb, Maya.
Maya. Guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh?
No. Okay, Trite, I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together in
Mia.
Inextricably.
There's a very good reason with why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Maya Fey's only sister.
Mia Fey's only sister.
Maya's sitting right there.
Okay, cutting out that dialogue there, Nick. Okay, she is Mia Fey's only sister. You better cut that out, else I'm gonna hate you.
He's like cutting out shit.
If you don't, I'm gonna hate you.
Mia.
Let's do the record scratch. One of those two.
I'll work something out. Anyways, continue reading.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
But wait a second here. Mr. Goto is a defense attorney?
With your honor's piercing intellect,
Intellect.
you must have figured it out by now. Real name of this man who calls himself Goto. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
Okay, the music is on.
Oh, he's Mexican.
Yeah,
We'll get to that later.
the last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
It should, your honor. All this is related to a single case. Case in which a convicted named Terry Falls killed himself.
Man, look at that cleavage.
Mia's face first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demonlessness in the disguise. I just said that. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
It's my fault. It's my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Mia, you can't cry yet.
That's some strength.
The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith into her clients, that pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming.
Well, you drink so much fucking coffee.
Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder. But very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma.
See.
My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. And one morning, my eyes were open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
I'm
Of
sorry.
course it would.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, but just like he just sits back up, sniffs the coffee, then starts talking. He doesn't drink it yet.
Oh, for God's sake. Not the time, man!
I'm sorry. It's
For 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
I just find his coffee addiction to be hilarious. That's all. All right.
I find it really hard to believe considering you need to eat to actually survive that, so what the fuck?
If you're asleep in a coma, you could be fed through. Anyways, and the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead.
Oh, come on, Scooter. She's dead, and you're groaning.
Yeah, I
From
know
very-
she was. Yeah, I know she's dead. Don't worry about it.
From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. And the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathe?
That should be obvious, Judge. Come on.
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee. Dahlia Hawthorne.
Now he drinks it.
Ha. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was you, Wright.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey would never have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were. God damn it.
So that's why you became a prosecutor?
My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me? Well, there's only one Maya Fey.
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Karine Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about it.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visits with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya. She never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But, how did you contact my mother?
She had been missing.
That's me.
Sorry.
She had been missing for almost 20 years.
Sorry, I got into character. Officially, yes.
Where's
What?
the emotion?
What do you mean, officially?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and...
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something about that effect. She said that Master of the Crane had a great 40.
Cranberries.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget, no matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always...
That's why I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve was to protect you was, look at her staff.
Her staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out, arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey, if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean Pearls? Won't you?
We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hall.
Oh. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight?
Well,
If you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together.
We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan, but she never showed up.
She was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean?
if she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Garind, Misty Faye's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to.
What? Is this true?
Well, we don't know
role-
she's dead.
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Good-o.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. Trite.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim?
And
Sure,
who?
next time.
And who sent the
Next
copyrighted
time.
music? Not this time.
Next time. Next
Actually,
time.
No!
Actually,
We're
wait.
finishing this.
Yes.
Actually, wait. Actually, wait.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, wait. Yeah. Next time. Andrew's right.